Welcome back to this new edition of News Today. Without delay, let's explore the headlines first. Prime Ministers reviewed the progress of India-Italy strategic partnership. PM urged for democratization of technology at G7 Outreach Summit. Bonn Climate Change Conference has been concluded. A report titled Quad Diplomacy and Cooperation in the Indo-Pacific assesses the Quad's achievements and potential. Bengaluru Municipal Body proposed to impose solid waste management cess. The study, Aging in India, Exploring Preparedness and Response to Care Challenges, a Help Age India report has been released. In our first news, we focus on the flourishing India-Italy strategic partnership. Prime Ministers from both nations recently reviewed progress and charted future cooperation on the sidelines of the G7 summit. They agreed to strengthen ties in various global and multilateral initiatives, including the ambitious India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor. Let's start with the political front. India and Italy have enjoyed political relations since 1947, which were elevated to a strategic partnership in 2023. A significant milestone was the 2020 virtual summit, where they adopted the 2020 to 2025 action plan, setting an ambitious agenda for enhancing their partnership. Now on to economic relations. Italy is India's fourth largest trading partner in the European Union, following Germany, Belgium and the Netherlands. The Indo-Italian Joint Economic Commission cooperation has been in place since 1976, fostering robust economic ties. In 2023, they signed the Migration and Mobility Partnership Agreement, ensuring safe and legal migration between the two nations. Technology is another critical area of cooperation. The bilateral partnership has made significant strides with the new Science and Technology Cooperation Agreement signed in November 2003, focusing on joint research in electronics, biotechnology and energy. Additionally, the new Executive Program of Cooperation for 2025-27 aims to promote further joint research and development. Defense and security cooperation has also seen remarkable progress. In 2023, Italy joined the Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative's Science and Technology pillar. The two nations have engaged in joint military exercises such as the PASEX exercise and Milan naval exercises, strengthening their defense collaboration. Finally, Italy's involvement in multilateral bodies alongside India highlights their commitment to global cooperation. Italy has joined several India-led initiatives, including the International Solar Alliance, the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, the Global Biofuels Alliance, and the IMEC. In conclusion, the India-Italy strategic partnership continues to grow stronger, with both nations committed to deepening their cooperation across political, economic, technological, and defense sectors.
In our next news, the Prime Minister at the G7 Outreach Summit urged for democratization of technology. This concept revolves around making technology more accessible and affordable to a broader population, ensuring that its benefits are widely shared and utilized. The democratization of technology encompasses several key facets, including accessibility, affordability, decentralization, skill development, and shared resources. From an economic perspective, democratization of technology is a game changer. It allows individuals and small businesses to leverage tech platforms, start new ventures, innovate, and compete in various sectors. This drives economic growth, creates jobs, and opens up income opportunities. Socially, democratization of technology plays a crucial role in bridging the digital divide. By providing access to educational resources, healthcare information, and financial services, technology empowers individuals, particularly in underserved areas, to improve their quality of life. A prime example is the massive open online courses offered by platforms like NPTEL, which makes high-quality education accessible to anyone with an internet connection. Culturally, social media platforms such as Twitter and Instagram have given voice to diverse communities worldwide. These platforms enable the sharing of cultural content and foster global conversations, promoting a more inclusive and connected world. In terms of governance, technology facilitates greater citizen engagement, enhances public discourse, and increases accountability in decision-making processes. Social media outreach to public service beneficiaries, for instance, allows for more transparent and responsive governance. However, the path to widespread technology access is not without challenges. One significant barrier is the digital divide and infrastructure gap. Many remote and rural areas still lack reliable and affordable internet connectivity. Additionally, gender and social inequities persist, with disparities in access to education, employment, and resources exacerbating the digital divide. Cybersecurity and privacy concerns also pose significant challenges. Issues such as data privacy and online fraud can deter individuals and organizations from fully embracing technology. In India, several steps have been taken to promote the democratization of technology. The creation of India Stack is a notable example. This digital public infrastructure facilitates digital identification payments and data management, making these services accessible to a broader population. Common Service Centers serves as an access point for the delivery of government to citizen e-services, bringing government services within the reach of citizens through physical ICT infrastructure. The Namo Drone Didi initiative is another innovative step, aimed at empowering women self-help groups by helping them purchase drones for farming purposes. Moreover, the India AI mission is dedicated for democratizing the benefits of artificial intelligence across all strata of society, ensuring that AI-driven solutions are accessible and beneficial to everyone. In conclusion, the democratization of technology holds immense potential to drive economic growth, enhance social mobility, promote cultural exchange, and improve governance.
Ahead in the news, Bonn Climate Change Conference has been concluded. This pivotal event made strides towards tackling climate change, focusing on adaptation indicators and enhancing the international carbon market's efficiency under Article 6 of the Paris Climate Deal. Let's dive into the key highlights and discussions from the conference. First, let's talk about Article 6 of the Paris Climate Deal, a crucial mechanism that aids countries in achieving their emission reduction goals. This article operates through two main market mechanisms: bilateral deals between countries and a new global offset market. These mechanisms are designed to facilitate international cooperation in reducing emissions, making it easier for countries to meet their climate targets. Now, while there was significant progress in some areas, two major issues remained unresolved: the new collective quantified goal on climate finance and negotiations on mitigation work program. Let's start with the new collective quantified goal, or NCQG. This was proposed during Conference of Parties 21 with the aim of setting a new climate finance goal for the period after 2025. Back in 2009, parties to the UNFCCC decided to mobilize $100 billion annually by 2020, a target that was later extended to 2025. However, developed countries have struggled to fully meet this commitment. The NCQG seeks to raise the floor on climate finance beyond the current $100 billion annual target, addressing key shortcomings in the current climate financing mechanism. Next up is the Mitigation Work Program, established at Conference of Parties 26. This program is crucial for enhancing mitigation ambition and implementation to achieve the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal of the Paris Agreement. In 2024, the focus will be on cities, buildings, and urban systems. This includes reducing operational emissions from heating and cooling, designing efficient building envelopes through retrofitting, and reducing embodied emissions in building materials. In conclusion, while the Bonn Climate Change Conference saw progress in some areas, significant work remains on critical issues like the NCQG and MWP. These discussions and resolutions are vital as we move forward in our global fight against climate change.
Ahead in the news, let's delve into the findings of a significant report titled Quad: Diplomacy and Cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, which assesses the achievements and potential of the Quad alliance. Initially centered on security dialogue, the Quad has evolved into a multifaceted partnership with broad goals, establishing 6 working groups since its regrouping in 2017. Let's explore the various policies and initiatives under the Quad. In the health sector, the Quad initially established the Quad Vaccine Partnership, which has since evolved into a broader Quad Health Security Partnership as of 2023. This partnership aims to strengthen health systems, including expanding e-health systems and conducting the Quad pandemic preparedness exercise to better respond to future health crises. Addressing climate change, the Quad launched the Quad Climate Change Adaptation and Mitigation Package, or QCHAMP, in 2022. In 2023, the group released the Principles on Clean Energy Supply Chains in the Indo-Pacific. In the realm of critical and emerging technologies, the Quad introduced the Semiconductor Supply Chain Initiative in 2021. Focusing on space and maritime security, the Quad launched the Indo-Pacific Partnership for Maritime Domain Awareness in 2022. Infrastructure development is another key area of cooperation. In the year 2018, the Quad launched the Trilateral Partnership for Infrastructure Investment in the Indo-Pacific. Cybersecurity is also a crucial focus for the Quad. In 2022, the Quad established the Quad Cybersecurity Partnership. Let's now understand a bit more about the Quad itself. The Quad, or Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, is a strategic diplomatic partnership composed of Australia, India, Japan, and the United States. These countries collectively represent 24% of the world's population, accounting for 35% of global GDP, and 18% of global trade. It's important to note that the Quad is neither a military alliance nor a mutual defense agreement. The origins of Quad date back to 2007, when the group held its inaugural but informal first meeting on the sidelines of the ASEAN Regional Forum. As the Quad continues to evolve, its impact on the Indo-Pacific region and the broader international community is likely to grow, fostering stability, prosperity, and resilience in an ever-changing global landscape. In our next news, let's focus on a crucial development in urban waste management as the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagarpalike proposes a solid waste management cess of Rs 100 per month for each household. This proposal is rooted in the Solid Waste Management Rules 2016, which empower urban local bodies to levy user fees or a cess for managing waste. Solid waste encompasses byproducts from household or commercial activities that have lost their value to the original owner but may still be significant for others. Examples include municipal solid waste discarded by households and industrial waste. Currently, India's state of solid waste management is a mix of achievements and challenges. As of 2020-21, the Central Pollution Control Board reported that India generates approximately 1,60,038.9 tons of solid waste per day. Remarkably, about 95% of this waste is collected efficiently. However, the challenge remains in the subsequent stages. Only around 50% of the collected waste undergoes some form of treatment, leaving 31.7% of the total waste generated unaccounted for. Several challenges plague solid waste management in India. One of the primary issues is the inadequate segregation of waste at its source. This results in increased disposal costs and inefficiencies in waste processing. Additionally, the collection and transportation of waste are hindered by underdeveloped infrastructure, including limited door-to-door collection services. Disposal and treatment practices also pose significant issues. The prevalent use of open dumps leads to methane emissions as biodegradable waste decomposes under anaerobic conditions. This not only contributes to environmental hazards such as fires and explosions, but also exacerbates global warming. Moreover, municipal finance remains a critical challenge. Municipalities often struggle to generate sufficient revenue from the services they provide and face difficulties in attracting private capital due to inadequate creditworthiness and market terms. The Solid Waste Management Rules 2016 outline key provisions to address these challenges. These rules are applicable to municipal areas, urban agglomerations, census towns, and notified industrial townships. A cornerstone of these rules is the mandatory segregation of waste at the source into 3 streams: biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and sanitary and domestic hazardous waste. Local authorities are tasked with establishing efficient waste collection, transportation, processing, and disposal systems. Additionally, developers of special economic zones, industrial estates, and industrial parks are required to earmark at least 5% of the total area of the plot or a minimum of 5 plots or sheds for recovery and recycling facilities.
Ahead in the news, we have an insightful report to discuss that sheds lights on the challenges and preparedness for elderly care in India. The study titled Aging in India, Exploring Preparedness and Response to Care Challenges, a Help Age India report, was released just in time for World Elder Abuse Awareness Day on June 15th. Let's delve into the key findings and understand the current state of elderly care in our country. First, let's talk numbers. By 2050, the elderly population in India, those aged 60 and above, is projected to constitute 20.8% of the total population. That's a significant rise from 8.6% in 2011. Moving on to the working status of the elderly, the report highlights a concerning disparity. Only 15% of elderly persons are working, with a notable gender gap. 24% of elderly males compared to just 7% of elderly females are employed. Another critical aspect is the lack of social security. Shockingly, only 29% of elderly people have access to social security schemes. This brings us to the health challenges faced by the elderly. A staggering 54% are suffering from 2 or more non-communicable diseases, indicating a high prevalence of multiple morbidities. Digital access is another area of concern. The report reveals that 59% of the elderly had no access to digital devices, highlighting the digital divide affecting our senior citizens. Social participation is minimal among the elderly, with only 7% being members of any social organization. This points to a significant lack of engagement and inclusion in social activities. Now let's shift our focus to the steps taken for elderly care in India. Various initiatives have been implemented to address these challenges. The Pradhan Mantri Vay Vandana Yojana, launched in 2015, is a pension scheme designed to provide a regular income to senior citizens aged 60 years and above. In 2017, the Rashtriya Vyoshri Yojana was introduced to provide assisted living devices and other support services to senior citizens, particularly those in below poverty line category. Additionally, the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007 aims to ensure the maintenance and welfare of senior citizens by making it a legal obligation for children and relatives. In conclusion, while the findings of the Help Age India report highlight significant challenges faced by the elderly population in India, they also underline the importance of the steps already taken and the need for further action.
The place in news for today is Malaysia with its capital Kuala Lumpur. It is in news as a community of seafaring people in Malaysia, the indigenous Bajau, are being evicted to make way for rapid urbanization in Sabah, Malaysian Borneo. If we talk about its political features, then it is a country in Southeast Asia lying just north of the equator. This country is composed of two non-contiguous regions. Those are the peninsular Malaysia lying on the Malay Peninsula and East Malaysia on the island of Borneo. It shares its land boundaries with Thailand to its north, Singapore to its south, Indonesia to its south to east, Malaysia and Brunei. Moreover, it contains the following water bodies: South China Sea and Andaman Sea. Talking about its geographical features, its important rivers are the Pahang, that is the longest in Malaysia, the Rajang and more. Its important lakes are Kenyir, that is the biggest man-made lake in Southeast Asia, Beira, Chini, etc. Its important straits include Malacca in the southwest and Balabag Strait. And lastly, its highest point is the Mount Kinabalu.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. The Union Government has extended the Digital Health Incentive Scheme till 2025. Digital Health Incentive Scheme launched in 2023 as part of the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. It aims to provide right incentives to providers of digital health solutions such as hospital or health management information system and laboratory management information system to make available right software at an affordable cost. Ministry of External Affairs and State Bank of India signed an MOU for digital payment services on eMigrate portal. It will integrate SBI ePay with eMigrate portal to provide digital payment services to Indian migrant workers, recruiting agents and other users of eMigrate portal. eMigrate portal was launched in 2014 for the online immigration process. India will host its first multinational air exercise Tarang Shakti in August 2024. This exercise will be scheduled in 2 phases. A study has found that Asiatic lions and Bengal tigers coexisted for so long in the subcontinent due to sympatric speciation. A speciation is a lineage-splitting event that produces 2 or more separate species. This process generates biodiversity. The Union Jal Shakti Ministry launched an e-flow ecological monitoring system. E-flow refers to the flow that is required to meet the ecological functions of the flora and fauna present in the water body. The e-flow monitoring system is developed by the National Mission for Clean Ganga. Recently, scientists have discovered that bioluminescence is pretty common among deep-sea shrimp. Bioluminescence is the property of a living organism to emit light. Light emitted is produced by energy released from enzyme-catalyzed oxidation reactions in organisms. A tempo fell into a ditch in the Alaknanda River in Uttarakhand. Alaknanda River originates at an elevation of 3,641 meters from Alkapuri Glacier. Alkapuri Glacier is a combination of snout of Bhagirath Kharak Glacier and Satopant Glacier. Reportedly, a Russian Su-24 bomber breached Swedish airspace near the strategically vital Baltic Sea island of Gotland. The Baltic Sea is an arm of the North Atlantic Ocean, connected to the Atlantic Ocean through Danish Straits. Before we wrap up today's bulletin, it's time to put your knowledge to test in today's segment of Test Your Learning. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this edition of News Today. For the solutions to today's quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.